welcome today to my channel. I hope that you guys are having a lovely day. So today in this video, I'm going to do an in-depth video of the Perlee Clover bracelet and rings. I have waited longer than a year right now to do this video for you guys because I wanted to give you guys a full good in-depth review, because I know when I was trying to purchase these two items, it was kind of like hard to find a good video that gives like a very good in-depth review about these items. And I know it's not an item that the first-time buyers probably will buy, but once you start loving Van Cleef Arpels, it's the whole brand, you kind of like see the beautiful pieces that they had. And that's actually how I got introduced to these beautiful pieces. So these are the pieces that I'm going to talk about. So if you're thinking about whether you should go for one of these pieces, then definitely stick around and watch this video. And I hope by the end, you will know if they are an item for you or not. So just to give you guys a little bit of a background story, I first got my ring, which is this one. I have it here. So I first got my Perlee ring, and then I've got my Perlee Clover. I think a half year or so after I bought the ring, I eventually bought the bracelet, or even maybe a year later. I don't remember. I'm really bad at dates. So I did a video about this. I did the unboxing here. So if you guys want to go and watch that, you will see which date it is. But I know that the bracelet was about a year ago because I bought it right before spring. And I was definitely choosing between two, and I ended up going with the Perlee Clover bracelet. So I'm for sure that I now have it a year. And that's also the reason why I wanted to do this in-depth review, because I think when you want to share something, you need to have worn it, especially jewelry. You don't get to see the pros and cons very quickly. You have to wear them over time so you can talk about the wear and tear and so forth. The first item, as I said, was the Perlee Clover's ring that I bought. I think I saw it on the website when I was kind of like scrolling through their items and wanted to explore more about the Van Cleef Arpels brand. I hit kind of like the jackpot for me. It is such a beautiful design, but I couldn't find a good in-depth video or even like a review of the Perlee Clover's ring. So it was kind of like a bummer. And back then, we didn't have a boutique here in the Netherlands, so I couldn't go to a boutique to try it on or to see it in real life before I ordered. So because I was very hesitant, I called the online store and I got like a lovely essay there, and she actually linked me to an essay in Paris because that's kind of like the nearest store for me. And in Paris, they didn't have them in stock. So what we did was we kind of like waited and we chat kind of like back and forth. And I was really doubtful whether I should go for a certain size or not. I was doubting between, I think, my regular size, I think it was 52, or no, I think it was between 53 or 53 and 54. Yes, I think that's it. 53 or 54. And normally I do wear 53, but my essay told me, like, you know, because it is a very thick statement piece ring, you should go for something that is a little bit larger so it will fit your ring or your finger. So I was very doubtful, and at a certain point she told me, okay, you know what, we have like both sizes in store right now, so if you're able to come to Paris, you could try them on. So me and my husband kind of like decided to go for Paris. Like, I think we drove there for 1 or 2 days, and we just kind of like had like a getaway. It was really lovely, and I think it was in the Maison Fayette, it's called in Paris, something like that. But that's kind of like where we went, and I tried it on, I saw it, and I completely fell in love with it. I knew I wanted the ring because I think I just have a soft spot for rings. You see them a lot, you can switch them up. So the moment I saw the ring, I was like, yes, that's it. So I got the ring in yellow gold. Now they do also have the same ring. They offer it in yellow gold, 18K, 18K rose gold, and 18K white gold. So you have an option to choose from them, but back then I was very against rose gold for some reason. I think it's kind of like a leap of faith if you like it or you don't, if it's kind of like your color or not. But when I saw the yellow gold one, which is this precious one, I completely fell in love with it, and we bought the ring. Now, ever since I think I got the ring, I actually worn it almost daily. Like, I absolutely love this ring. It is such a statement piece ring. It became the statement piece ring. There's nothing else I can say that I absolutely love and enjoy this piece so much. I think one of the pros is that it is truly a statement piece. It has such beautiful design. Like, you can see the beautiful diamonds, clover. It is absolutely amazing. It's gorgeous. And the fact, I think, that you can choose between the different type of metals just makes it very, very versatile. So this piece back then retailed for, I think, 12,000 something. And at this point, it retails at 13,500, I think, here in Europe. And I think in dollars, it's a little bit less. I think it's like 12,000 something, almost like 13,000 as well. So it's not a huge difference, but it is still a very, very steep point. I don't think for most of regular people it would be like an entry style ring. So I do get why people would go like for the Alhambra collection. I think when you're trying to start off with something that it's a little bit more expensive, you want to go maybe for something that feels a little bit more safe. But this piece, absolutely amazing. I absolutely love it, and I haven't regretted it since. But we have to talk about the cons, because this ring absolutely has some cons that you need to think about before you buy it. So one of the things is, as I already said, it is a thicker ring. It is literally a statement ring. Now, you can find that as to be a pro, but you can also find that to be a con. It is definitely there. You cannot unsee it. It is like when you have it like on your finger, it's definitely a statement piece. Now, also because it is a statement piece, it is a little bit more heavy, of course, than regular rings. So it is, you know that you have something on your finger. Also, you kind of like feel, but don't feel like the movement between it. It's not annoying, but if you're someone who's very, very sensitive regarding that feeling, then it's definitely something that you should be aware of. Another thing is also that sometimes when you buy like statement pieces like this, when it's summer, like now, I can wear it like perfectly, but oftentimes in the winter, when my fingers are a lot thinner, I'm not able to wear this ring. So that is something that was kind of like pretty annoying when I had it. A lot of days I couldn't wear it in the winter days. Other cons of this ring, and I have to be completely honest about this, is that it gets very, very, very dirty. And it sounds crazy when I tell you this, guys, but I am going to insert a lot of clips so you can see like the dirt on the ring. And I did this especially because I wanted to give you guys a very honest review. Now, this is not a ring that has never been cleaned. I clean it very regularly with my machine. I also, whenever I'm near the boutique, I just let them just be clean or something. But this ring gets dirty, and I think it's because, or I know for sure that it's because of the difference in heights and the diamonds and the beautiful design, but that's also where all the dirt will accumulate, and it accumulates really, really fast. I mean, if I would clean it like this morning, the afternoon it would be dirty again. So that is something that you really have to keep in mind. If you're someone who doesn't like that, then this is not the kind of ring that you want to buy. Another thing is that the inside of the ring is quite hollow. So I find it to be a little bit annoying because in that space also a lot of dirt can accumulate, and that's a little bit harder to clean. So that is something that you really need to think about. Then the last con that I've personally experienced is that because of the hollowness on the inside, I kind of like have it now, but in the summer, like on the inside, it can get like a little bit sweaty, or when you're washing your hands, like the water can get like trapped behind it because it has like a hollow space. And that gives like a more like an uncomfortable feeling. It's not pleasant. But again, I'm very sensitive to those things. So if you are someone that doesn't mind that, you never notice it, you are aware of the statement pieces, you already have statement piece rings, then you're probably going to enjoy this ring even more than I do. Now, even though I like all of these or dislike all of these things from this ring, it is still like one of my most worn rings like ever. I really love it. I really enjoy it. So there are cons, but they're not that much of a con. So that is what you need to kind of like keep in mind. Now, a very important thing is when you're buying this ring, when you want to buy it, is that you need to think about again that it's a statement piece. And so it's going to be a little bit thicker than regular rings and also a little bit heavier. So oftentimes you need to size one size up or even two sizes up. You kind of like need to think about it as the Cartier Clash. If you ever sized up on that ring, you also need to maybe size up on this ring. Take all these things into consideration when you're thinking about buying this ring. But eventually, I absolutely love it. It is amazing. It is beautiful. It is a statement piece. It reflects light so beautifully. It is one of my most worn rings, as I already said. So next I'm going to move on to the bracelet. And the bracelet I bought about a half year or so after I bought the ring. And that was something that I really thought about, because I even though I had like the ring, I was still very doubtful if I was going to buy the bracelet, because again, it is a very statement piece bracelet. It is thicker, and that is where my doubt stemmed from. I already had a beautiful collection, but all of my pieces were very thin, were more like the minimalist kind of like vibe, but this one was going to be a very statement piece. On top of that, I was very doubtful if I should go with the rose gold or the yellow gold. And the reason for this is because back then I already knew that I wanted to add the Clash bracelet to my collection. And I think back then it was only possible to get it in rose gold. And I eventually I think I also got the holiday pendant that year in rose gold, and that's kind of like where I caved in. That's the first piece of rosé gold that I had, and I was like, oh my god, it's so beautiful, and I started liking it. And then I knew I wanted to get the Clash, and so I thought, I need to add something, maybe rose gold, to my stack, otherwise it's only going to be the Clash. So that's kind of like was the process back then. Again, as with the ring, Van Cleef Arpels also offered in 18K rose gold, 18K white gold, and 18K yellow gold. So it's really beautiful that you can choose from these metals, and yeah, it just makes it really versatile. So again, I contacted my SA in Paris, but also the one online. I think the yellow gold they had online, but they had the rose gold in Paris. So I've kind of like decided to go to Paris. It was truly amazing. I saw my SA again, and I think this time I went with my daughter. So it was a really kind of like girly road trip that I did. It was amazing. And I completely fell in love with this beautiful Perlee Clover bracelet. It is a little bit tough right now to see it, but it is super gorgeous. It's amazing. And the moment that I saw it, I actually also fell in love with rose gold. I thought that the Van Cleef Arpels rose gold was going to be similar to the Hermes rose gold, and I absolutely don't like the amount of pink tone that the Hermes collection has. It's just something that just doesn't speak to me. But my essay told me that even Cleef Arpels, they have like a very light tinted rosé gold. Or I mean rose gold. Sorry, I'm saying rosé gold, but rose gold, that's because we are naming it in Dutch here. But rose gold. And yeah, I saw it and I was just mesmerized by it. I thought it was really, really beautiful, and I decided, because of the warmer tone actually, that it fitted my bracelet stack so good. I couldn't like really tell the difference between the yellow gold and the rose gold. It was like perfect. You can still see like a little bit of the difference between the yellow gold and the rosé and the rose gold. Oh my god. Like, what's my problem today? Anyway, you can still see the difference, but it's not like a huge difference. So I really enjoy it. Now, in terms of sizing, they didn't have back then the 14.5 size. They had like small, medium, and large, and the small was the equivalent of size 16, so I ended up going with size 16, which is actually a little bit too big, or a little bit big for me. But as I'm always stacking this bracelet since I got it, I don't have a problem with it. If I would be wearing it alone, I think I would have a problem with it. So that is the first con that I can say. But in terms of size, and now they have like a variety, and I think it suits a lot more people the way that they added the 14.5 now. So I was kind of like a little bit too early, but it is what it is. So I got mine in size 16 in rose gold. It is absolutely amazing and beautiful. I have worn this bracelet so much. It is one of my best investments. Like, I really love it. I think it is super easy to take on, put off. The opening is really sweet. You kind of just like lift this thing, kind of like this lock up, and then you push it in and you open the lock, and it's quite easy to do so. So I think the mechanism is pretty good. It's sturdy. It's one of the best things like that I got. With the ring, the way the light kind of like catches the diamonds when you're outside, it is super shiny. It is really beautiful. The design is amazing. It is a statement piece, but a very beautiful statement piece. So in terms of design, I think the design is absolutely amazing. In terms of quality, I think it's absolutely amazing. So those for me are the highest pros of this bracelet. And all the cons are actually very similar to the cons of the ring. One, of course, and I'm going to show you guys as well, but this also gets very dirty. As with the design outside, it gets dirty between the diamonds, but also inside, because it is hollow, you're going to see that a lot of dirt will stick into that place. So you need a regular cleaning type of moment for these items, whether it's the ring or the bracelet. Clean it often, because it just needs to be cleaned often. If you don't mind that, it's not like you are going to zoom in and see like all the dirt. It doesn't look bad like when you're looking at your naked eyes, but when you're zoom into it, and especially when I did it when I was filming, you can really see everything. And I think that is what I wanted to show you guys. Like, but with the naked eye, you can see like literally anything, and it just looks clean. Another con is that in the push down button, it's sometimes like some sweaters or things will get stuck, and I noticed that there were like some threads stuck in there, and I wanted to leave it there because I wanted you guys to see it, that it sometimes happens. Sometimes things will get stuck in that clasp. Next con that I would say, and I already mentioned it to you guys, is the sizing back then. It's not a con anymore, but maybe if you're a size 15, then you would prefer a size 15 yourself and not a size 16, and 14.5 is going to be too small for you. I feel like, and you can see it, like, let me show you guys. Like, if you watch it like this is like the biggest bracelet, and then it goes like from big to small. And you can see that this is really big. So if I would wear it kind of like alone, it's just would be like too uncomfortable. There's like too much room for it to play, and I don't like that. I would have like really hated that. At this moment, they have, as I said, good sizes. And if you fall in between it, that's amazing. So I think that's a huge pro at this moment, but con back then. And lastly, I think one of the cons of this piece is that it's quite steep in price. It retails at $30,000, and that is almost like 3 times the ring. You do get a really beautiful piece that sticks with you a lifetime and beyond, but it is a very, very steep price. Now, I wanted to save this one for last because one of the things that is really important, and I think a lot of you guys are asking, does it scratch a lot? And I think with both, because they're like very similar design, I worn them like the same way. Yes, they do scratch. In the beginning, I thought they would not scratch as much because you have the diamonds and it does protect the flat surface a little bit. And because both don't have like a ton of flat surface, but it does scratch. And I think one thing than the other, the ring scratches even more than the bracelet. And I think because of the wear, like you're using your hands, your fingers a lot more than your bracelets. That is something that you need to keep in mind. The last thing is that I want to share with you guys, are they easy to clean? Because I mentioned a lot of time in this video that they are both beautiful jewelry items, but that they need to be cleaned often. Now, from Cleef Arpels, if you have a store nearby, they offer a cleaning option, so you can walk into the Cleef Arpels store and you can get your jewelry cleaned for free, and that is amazing. I think that is the best way to get your jewelry cleaned properly. I do have like a cleaning machine, something like that, and I use it and it cleans things very good and it gets them very shiny back again. So it's amazing. And in that same range, because I clean them, I also noticed that they are still very, very shiny. So for example, if you compare these rings with the Cartier Love rings or the bracelet as well, with the Cartier Love ring and bracelet, those items are more prone to get a little bit dull over time because you only have the flat surface of the gold. But with these items, you do have like the diamonds that are giving it a little bit more edge and will prevent the gold itself to get damaged or scratched as much as the Love ring or the Love bracelet. So that's kind of like what you need to keep in mind. So I'm going to give you guys a comparison. So this is kind of like the Love ring, and this is the Perlee. Now you can see that the gold are both are very, very scratched, but both don't look dull. But if one would look dull over time, it would be this one, because this one still has the diamonds in between, which is a beautiful, beautiful piece. I would definitely buy them again. Would I recommend them to you guys? If you're thinking about it, oh yes, for sure, go for it. They're amazing. And I think you will absolutely love these pieces. So you guys, let me know down below if you're thinking about buying these pieces. If this video helped you in any way, give it a big thumbs up. And if you're new here and you like these types of videos, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and also the notification bell so you get notified whenever I post a new one. So guys, thank you for being here, for giving me your time today, and I hope to see you in my next one. Bye!